Here we go. Y'all need to stop distracting me. Here we go. Number 5, which is on page 222. So we need to solve this one. We're solving for theta, which is actually angle B, right on? So if I'm solving for angle B, which formula am I going to use? Hello? Cosine B formula. That's the one. I'm going to write that formula, a squared plus c squared minus b squared over 2ac. All right? Now, look at your sides. Side A is 68.01 squared plus c squared is 42.15 minus b squared, which is 37.83 squared. I bet you had it set I bet it was set up correctly on your paper, but you put it in your calculator incorrectly. Guarantee that's what happened. C is 42.15. Okay? Did we get that much correct? Did you get everything plugged in? All right, so you've got it plugged in correctly. What happened was you put it in your calculator incorrectly. All right, Zachariah. Or Luke, or whoever. Damien, somebody back there. All right, here we go. So I've got 68.01 squared plus 42.15 squared minus 37.83 squared. Now, I am going to write this number down for my notes, for your notes, okay? 49, y'all help me remember, 49, 70, 87, 37. I think that's right. 49, 70, 87, 37. And now I'm going to take 2 times 68.01 times 42.15, and I get 5733, 243. 5733, 243. Right on? Okay? Now, 49.8737. When I did that, the 4970, I would have gone on and hit divided by, and then I would have used parentheses and put 2 times 68.01. Notice my parentheses, or let's just make that a times 42.15 and close the parentheses. Look what I'm doing. If you don't use parentheses on the denominator, the calculator is going to recognize order of operations. And all it's going to do is this. 4978,737 divided by 2. And it's going to calculate that quotient, and then it's going to multiply that quotient by 68.01 times 47 or 42.15. So it's going to use order of operations, and I guarantee you that's what you did, okay, if you made a mistake on that problem. So notice that I took my denominator and I am putting parentheses around that entire denominator. Sometimes you will see it, we'll write it in those square brackets in the calculator. I don't use the brackets, I just double up the parentheses. But watch what ends up happening. So that's what you got? All right, so then it was what? Cosine of something. What angle? Cosine B. Cosine of B of 8670. 8670. Do not round that number because it's not going to give you the same answer. So how do I solve for B at this point? I do the inverse cosine of what? Of the answer. Inverse cosine of my answer. Folks, use that button. Why wouldn't you? Okay, and it gives you 29.9. Yes? Up here? 4970.8737. Okay? 29.9 degrees. That's a 4970. Okay? Questions? Does that help? Given. Okay? For number 11, 4.0 and 3.0, at this point, as soon as I draw my picture, what am I going to do? I'm going to come over here on the side, and I'm going to go, what is this? Side angle side, right? And I'm going to tell you why you need to do this. I'm going to give you a worksheet that you're going to work on through the weekend. Yep, you're going to have homework. My daughter, remember she's 8, she thinks I'm the meanest person ever. You give homework on the weekends? I don't ever have homework on the weekends. I said, it's because you're in the 3rd grade. You got to suck it up when you get in high school. So, yes, you're going to have, because you're going to have plenty of time to get it all done. Now, plenty of time. Side angle side, what are we going to do first? What are we kind of being forced into solving for? The other side, that opposite side C. So, which formula do I use then? The C squared formula, right? Okay? C squared is equal to A squared plus B squared minus 2AB cosine C. Is that right? Okay. Now we just start plugging in the information. It's just plug and chug. All right. A is 3 squared plus 4 squared minus parentheses 2 times 3 times 4 times cosine of 53 and double that parentheses. Okay? Now, calculator time. You can put this straight in your calculator. Yeah. So 3 squared plus 4 squared minus the quantity. You got to put this here. If you don't, you're going to get the wrong answer every time. 2 times 3 times 4 times cosine of 53. I close the 53. I'm closing the cosine. Now I've got to close that right side. Do you see what I'm doing, folks? Okay? You writing this down? Okay? Enter. Is that my answer? No, that ain't my answer. Because this is C squared equals 10.556 blah, blah, blah. What am I going to do to find my answer? Take the square root of both sides. And when I do that, boom, boom, I'm going to get C is approximately, and again, second square root, second answer. Do not round that number. You will not get the correct answer. I'm telling you. Don't do this crazy rounding. I've never done it. Why would you do that? It's approximately 3.2 is my side measure. The instructions for number 11 told you to solve the triangle, which we hear as find all the missing parts, right? Do I have anything? Now, here's where I take my gamble. You can totally use law of cosines on all of this, and you would use the cosine of A formula to solve for angle A. Do you guys agree with that? And then I could use 180 minus 53 minus angle A, and that would give me angle B. Do you guys agree with that? That's going to give you probably the best answer. I'm going to take a gamble because I show all my work, and I usually zip through it a second time just because it's all calculator work. Doesn't take long. If you want to take a gamble, then use law of sines. Well, I have approximated side C. So I don't have the exact answer. And when I've plugged this in and I go sine of 53 over an approximated answer, Which angle do you guys want to solve for? Do you want to solve for angle A or angle B? B. Let's solve for B. Sine of B over 4. You guys agree with that? Okay. Now, I'm taking a gamble that I've done all my work correctly. I'm pretty sure I did. And then look what happened. And I'm not saying that in a braggy way. I'm just, y'all know I may be a whole lot of ADD, but I'm pretty meticulous about my work, and y'all know that. 3.2 times the sine of B. Because I have to find it. Your instructions told you to solve the triangle. So they just said solve for B. So that's what I'm solving for. So divide by 3.2. That leaves me with the sine of B is equal to, calculator, let me move this over here. And we've got sine of 53 times 4. That, yep, divided by 3.2. All right, let me try that again. Times 4 divided by 3.2. Okay, got the same thing. So I've got 0.9983, 0.9982, blah, blah, blah. But I've got to find the measure of angle B. So how am I going to do that? Inverse sine. Inverse sine of that number. I'm not going to round that number because you don't ever see me do that. I always will find the inverse sine of the answer, which gives me approximately 86.7 degrees. I did. I sure did. Because, shut up. You got 86.7 or? Huh. Well, I did cross multiply. Make sure I put it in my calculator. 53. Hold up. All right. Okay. So I'm proving to myself, basically, whether I should gamble or not. Because the original answer that I called out to the class earlier was not this answer. It did not end up being angle B was approximately 86.7. So, all right, let's check this. So this was using some tactics. We'll see. If it's right, then should work out here. A is 3 squared plus C is 3.2 squared, which I had just solved for, minus B squared, which is 4. Y'all, if you watch this and make sure I do everything correctly, C is 3.2. Y'all with me? And I've written everything correctly, right? All right, calculator. Let's see. So 3, that's not it. 3 squared plus 3.2 squared minus 4 squared. 3.24 over something that's not going to be easy to calculate in my head. 2 times 3 times 3.2, 19.2. All right, now this is what I would do at this point. Because I don't care what that decimal is, and I know I'm going to have to take the inverse cosine. I would take the inverse cosine of 3.24 divided by 19.2. All right, calculator, let's see. Second cosine, inverse cosine, 3.24 divided by 19.2. I'll be John Brown. Well, ain't that something? 80.3. So, did we just learn a lesson? I'm mainly talking to myself. Should we gamble? Never. Never. There are no sure things. So, my apologies. B should be approximately 80.3. Don't gamble. You're not going to get the best answer. It's going to give you, because I could calculate the third angle, take 180 minus the original, minus 86.7, and it's still going to give me the right answer. Why is it 6 points off, 6 degrees off? I don't know. Don't gamble. The only thing I can think of, but I'm still using. Y'all, I got to check on that. I don't understand. I need to check on that. The book had 80.3, didn't it? Anybody check their answer in the book? Don't gamble. Don't gamble. Don't do it. I'm going to check because I need to find out why. That won't work. And then we got to find that other one. 180 minus 53 minus 80.3. And when you calculate that, you're going to get 46.7 for angle A. Right on. Okay? I'm going to find out why that won't work. I don't know the answer to that right now. Okay? Is that what it said, Maria? For number 11? Uh-uh. Ain't no way. Are you, it's... No, hold on. Hey, Zach. Sorry to bother you. Click right here, that right there, the recorder. Click it again. Was it behind me and I didn't see it? Oh. Only, you are not allowed to put this on your card. You may put it in your notes. But what's going to happen when I put it all together and I don't tell you which law to use? Because you're going to get a worksheet that's like that today. Okay? When to use which law? Okay? When to use which law? So we've got, first we learn law of sines. And then we had law of cosines, right? And when do we use what? When do we know? What's the one you know? Side, side, side for cosine. What else for any of them? Side angle side for cosine. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. Wonder if it's based upon what we were given. Side angle side. Probably. Probably has something, okay, I just rewound in my head. We probably should have used all law of cosines on that number 11 because what were we given in our triangle? Side angle side. That's why. I bet that's why. But I'm 80% sure that's why. Side angle side says, hey, I need to use law of cosines, not law of sines. Hello. I just learned something new today. I had a revelation. I'm revoluting in the classroom. What about law of sines? Aha. Look, you giggle when you said that. Side angle, because what's up with side angle? It's got a couple different things that happen. What's one thing that can happen? You can have more than one triangle. What are the options? You doesn't have one. And folks, no solution is not the proper answer. You should write, triangle does not exist. That's the first option. The second option is what? only one triangle. And your third option is two triangles exist. And why do they exist? Because of that supplement triangle. Okay? So got some weird things going on with side-side angle. I know that it totally goes back to side angle side. I know that's why. What else? What else can we, when can we use law of sines? Say it again. Angle, side, angle. And what's the last one? Angle, angle, side. Now look at the difference. We have two angles here. Although we have two sides, you know, that's the weird one, donkey postulate. Two sides over here, okay? Keep that in mind. You want that in your notes, especially for the worksheet that I'm going to give you over the weekend and over our extended weekend, right? Okay? So here we go. Law of cosines. We're going to continue with law of cosines. Try to type some loose ends, maybe just for the teacher. Not so much you. But we're solving for all the parts. I threw number 11 at you thinking that you would kind of figure it out, okay? Solving for all parts. Okay, solving for all parts. And here's an example. Here's the way it might look. It'll just tell you to solve triangle ABC. Solve the triangle if A is 410 meters, C is 340 meters, and angle B is 151.5 degrees. Now look at that. We're solving for all parts. What's the first thing that I have to do? Draw it. I got to draw it. I have to. Okay? Draw it big enough that you can write inside of it. And that's my go-to triangle. Yes, ma'am? No, I would never do that. No. Maybe on an extra credit question, I would do that. But not as a regular, normal, like put A is 410 meters and 340 centimeters. Yeah, I would not do that to you. I hate the metric system. They can have it. All right. No, I would not do that to you unless it were an extra credit problem. Okay? 151.5 degrees. I've got side A is 410 meters. And side C is 340 meters. And as soon as I put that information in my triangle, what am I going to do? What is it? Side, angle, side. Side, angle, side. Go back. Oh, I guess I have to use which law? Cosines. And what am I now, because I've learned it from today, what am I going to do? I'm going to use law of cosines all the way through, right? Nope. You got to know it. At some point, you got to know something. And it can't be on your card. Know that. Okay? Sorry. All right, here we go. So what are we kind of being forced to find? Side B. I'm being forced to find side B. Which formula will I use? B squared formula, okay? So let's start with it. B squared is equal to A squared plus C squared. Now, folks, for your notes, you need to write everything that I write. Don't cut corners. How are you supposed to study? And you are supposed to study sometimes. That's a novel idea for some people. We should study sometimes, okay? For your notes, I want this in here. When you're doing your homework, you don't have to write the formula. You'd be better off if you did. but I'm not going to count it wrong if you don't. All right, what is a squared? 410. 410 squared plus, you tell me, 340 squared minus parentheses. Put it there. If you don't, when you put it in the calculator, you're going to get it wrong. 2 times, and folks, they're right here. You don't even have to look back at the triangle. 2 times 410 times 340 times the cosine of who? 151.5, and double the parentheses at the end. I'm accounting for the brackets. And now it's all calculator work. Zach, hold on. Okay. Thank you. All right, 410 squared plus 340 squared minus parentheses. 2 times 410 times 340 times. I'm putting cosine of 151 in parentheses. I'm closing 151. I'm closing cosine. And now I'm closing the right half of that equation. Look at my calculator. Okay? Look at how I'm putting that in there. I am ensuring, hopefully, that I have done this correctly, and I know I have. So I'm going to hit enter. Big old number, right? Humongous number. Now, folks, you got to help me. Because for my notes, I'm going to put this. 528-724-211. It should be on y'all's calculator. 528-714-211. 714-714. Okay, so that side is 528,714, right? Take the square root of both sides. Take the square root of both sides. Now, am I going to round that number? No, I'm going to take the square root of the what, everybody? Answer. So I'm going to take the square root of my answer, and what do we get? Approximately 727.1. Now, is anybody bothered by the length of that side? It is huge. So how can we justify it as our answer? It's across from the largest angle, and look at that angle measure. That sucker is 150 degrees. It's big. So is the opposite side supposed to be big? Absolutely. So it is in the right realm, okay? We're in the ballpark. 721, yep, that right there, what I just wrote. Not what I said. 727.1. Now, what do I have to do? We still have to solve for A or C. Which one do you want to solve for? A. All right, let's solve for A first. I'm solving for angle A, so which formula should I use? Cosine of A. And for our notes, let's solve it. Cosine of A. B squared plus C squared minus A squared over 2BC. Right on? And let's plug in our numbers. B squared, 727.1 squared plus 340 squared minus 410 squared over 2 times 727.1 times 340. Do you guys agree with that? Okay. Got to be a what? You have to be really patient, or you have to be a parentheses ninja, right? So 720, you do this on your calculator. I'm not going to talk, so I won't disturb you while you're concentrating. Keep punching that calculator. Hey, did everybody get down to this point? Okay, ask questions while we're going so you don't get hung up later. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, well, I guess it's not really sure it works, but if you just plug all of that in the calculator, like I do the top part and then I divide it by the bottom part.
Yes. Okay. And it gave you a funky decimal, right? Okay. Here's what I'm going to do to get around that. How am I going to solve for angle A? What do? I got to find inverse cosine, right? So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to take inverse cosine of this number. And I guess maybe, Leslie, your way's probably easier than this. Chances are it probably is. Because you would have already done 476,174.41, right? Divided by... No, thank you. Don't let me do that. Thank you. 476,174.41, 494,428, enter. And then, that probably would be better. Second cosine, second answer. How many of you got approximately 15.6? Whew. Approximately 15.6. Okay, A is approximately 15.6. Holy moly. Now what? Because am I done? No, I could have to find angle C, but this part's the easy part, right? Because in order for me to find C, I'm going to take 180 minus 15.6 minus, what was it, 151.5? And what do I get? 12.9. And that is angle B? Okay, that's right. Angle C. Looky there. Holy moly. Folks, let me ask you, like 5 minutes ago, rock on, high five. Thank you for being patient. It takes a while to write all that down. And it's just for your notes, folks. What if, when I do a notebook check, I say, I need to see the work for cosine of A on example 1 from March 22nd. Oh, that would be awful. Oh, would I be that mean? Yep, you would, you beep. Thank you. That's what some of you are thinking. It's all right. It's all good, and that's recorded. Hallelujah. Here we go. Example 2. Let's move on. No questions? I'm going to post this. Yeah. They kind of just do. Maybe not, Beth. Maybe not. Maybe not. Look at this one. Wait and make your decision in just a second. Sometimes you got to really read the problem. Check this out. Look at what this says. This says if A is equal to 38, B is equal to 10, and C is equal to 31, find the largest angle. Oh, I'm only finding one thing. And Jansen, you said we're only finding angle A? Why? How you know that? Because A is the biggest side. What'd you say? You said A, right? Please put this in your notes. Put that in your notes. Draw, right? I don't see how you couldn't do this without drawing. You guys said 38, 10, 31. Find the largest angle, and y'all said it was going to be A because side A is the largest side, so then angle A has to be the largest angle, right on? Do you remember what theorem that comes from? Triangle inequality theorem. Might we write that down? Inequality theorem. So Which formula do I use? I don't know. I don't know. What angle am I solving for? Y'all better help your classmates. Angle A. Here we go. And folks, if I ever check your cards, and I would be the fart face that would do it, and you have stuff that's not supposed to be on there, I would hate to have to rip that up, because that would be, ooh, that would be so ugly. I would totally do it too. C is 31. A is 38. Over 2 times B times C. Okay? I at least need to see that step right there. Okay? On your paper, I have to see that step. Cosine of A, it's going to be something really big. And then we're going to take the inverse cosine of something here. And what do we get as our angle A? 128.2. Is that what you guys got? Did you get negative 383 over 620? Did anybody panic when they saw the negative symbol? You did flip out? All right, let me ask you this, because this would be another good question that I could ask you. When is it acceptable that cosine can be a negative number? Which quadrants? All star trig class. All of them are positive. Second and third, who said that? Attaboy. Attaboy. Second, third. I never can hear him. Seriously, because I can't ever hear him. Except when he says something ugly. I always hear his ugly comments. 128.2. How many of you got that? Hey guys, questions at all? Questions? Facile? Facile. Bring it on, right? Here's another one. Do we want to do this? Okay. Guys, do you have questions on law of cosines? When do we use law of cosines? Side, 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 or side, angle, side. Changing gears a little bit. Heron's formula, write this down. H-E-R-O-N. Heron's, pardon? It is a bird, but this is not a bird formula. This is going to help us find the, the area of oblique triangles. In just a minute. In just a minute, we're going to put it on there. And the reason, yep. The reason we do Heron's formula after law of sine, law of cosine is this formula is an application of the law of cosines. Okay? And I could prove it, but do you really care? Just let's be honest. No. Give me the formula. Let me write it on the card. Give me the picture. Boom. I got you. Right? I know. But what could this be? It could totally be an extra credit project. It could be an extra credit question. Prove Heron's formula is an application of the law of cosines. Some of you will think about that, and you will think on that. Pardon? Law of trig, no, not that I know of. Not that I'm aware of. Somebody asked me that in a question yesterday. Okay. Doesn't matter. You don't care. All right, here we go. Heron's formula. You care nothing, and I'm not offended by that. Here we go. Area of an oblique triangle. Not you. You're just going to write this on your card. A is equal to the square root of S times the quantity S minus A times the quantity S minus B times the quantity S minus C, all of it over nothing. That was a joke. Where S equals 1/2 the quantity of A plus B plus C. This goes on your card, and yes, you wrote it twice. Oh well. Put that on your card right now, because this is what's important. S stands for the semi-perimeter. No, this does not go on the card. It just goes in your notes. You have to know this. Semi-perimeter is 1/2 of the perimeter. And then look back at that formula. It was 1/2 of A plus B plus C. Well, if you add up all the sides of the triangle, hello, that's the perimeter. A plus B plus C is the perimeter. We're taking 1/2 of it. It's 2 calculations that you have to make, folks, and this is very simple, very, very simple. 1/2 of the perimeter of your given triangle, okay? 1/2 the perimeter of your given triangle. And here's an example. Very straightforward, a lot of calculator work. Find the area of triangle ABC. And here we go. If you miss something, you watch the video, okay? I'll post it this afternoon. Look at this. We've got 125 feet, 315 feet, and 280 feet. Okay? Write this down. What's the first thing we got to find before we write? I got to find S. I got to find the semi-perimeter. So 1/2 of. Now, this is the only time that chances are you're going to write this down. Chances are you're going to do all this in your work, and then you're going to write somewhere S is equal to blank, and you're going to have that value there. Just for your notes, side A is 315, side B is 280, side C is 125. And folks, again, just for your notes, it's 1/2 of 720, which is 360. Right on? Good. Now all we have to do is write our formula. Square root of S times, and please write your formula just for your notes. Okay? S is 360. Just for your notes, we're writing this. 360 minus A. Bless you. I have to before I can plug it in here. I have in order for me to be able to plug S into my formula, I have to know what S is equal to. 360 minus B, which is 280, times 360 minus 125. And folks, that's a whole bunch of work in your calculator, okay? Be patient when you put this into your calculator. Be very patient. And my suggestion is this. Don't even put the radical in there until you find out what 360 times this quantity times this quantity times this quantity is total. Find out what that total is first. When you calculate that total, then you should have this number, 304.560000. Look at that value. That is huge. That is 360 times this quantity times this quantity times this quantity. Okay.
So you max it first, then you multiply.
Pardon?
Max it and then multiply.
Say it again, I'm sorry.
Okay, in the parentheses when you're doing it,
You subtract.
you subtract first.
Yes, you can work the quantities first, or if you're a calculator ninja, 360 parentheses, 360 minus 315 parentheses, 360 minus 280 parentheses, 360 minus 125 parentheses, enter, and that's what you're going to get, okay? And then, what do we have to do? That's not my value. Take the square root of that value. And when you do, you're going to get approximately 17,451.6 feet squared. What in the world? Now again, do any of you think, holy crap, that's huge? But put it into perspective. Look at your side measures. Your side measures are 125 feet by 315 feet by 280 feet, right? So the numbers are going to be humongous, yes. The angles in the triangle have to equal 180. This is the area contained within. I'm not done. Do you have questions on that? And is it really that easy? It's really easy. The most difficult part is what you put in your calculator, okay? Y is what? Feet is squared in area. Okay? That's okay. Inches squared. For area, it's always units squared. Here's another one. I want you to write it down. I'm going to give you the answer to work towards. That isn't a triangle, is it? It looks kind of like a kite. I'm telling you right now that the area of that quadrilateral is 40.81 units squared. Okay? Now, I want you to look at it. I heard somebody say, that ain't a triangle. You're right. It's not. It's not one triangle. It's two. So if you will do this, split it in half. It's two oblique triangles now. That's a good question. Oblique means it's not right. Bless you. How are you going to find the area of this whole thing? How are you going to find the area of the whole thing? You're going to find the area of triangle ABC. Angle D, I don't know the angle measure. But let me ask you something. Focus. I need to find side AC, don't I? How am I going to find it? Nope, can't use Pythagorean theorem because it's not a right triangle. Got to find the law of cosines. Why? Because, look, this is side, angle, side. So make yourself a note. Find side AC first. using law of cosines, then you're able to find the area of the top triangle, you're able to find the area of the bottom triangle, and then you're going to add them together to get the area of the whole thing, okay? You can totally do this, and don't you dare come in here and say, I didn't understand. Bull crap, there's step-by-step instructions. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that when you've got 4 or 5 days. Secondly, you're going to finish this. You're also going to finish page. Yes, sir, but the only side you're missing is that middle side that I dotted in. That's right. That's what you're going to do for me. Worksheet. Here it be. And this is for a grade. Take one and pass it back quickly, please. Bless you. Bless you. Everybody have the assignment? I'm going to move it back to that last one.